Hello students, in previous video we have discussed numericals based on second order derivatives. Today we will start with a new topic, Raleigh's theorem. Today we will discuss Raleigh's theorem and Lagrange's mean value theorem. Now see, what is this Raleigh's theorem? If or let fx be a real valued function defined on closed interval a comma b such that first fx is continuous on closed interval ab, second fx is differentiable on open interval AB, and the third one, f of A is equals to f of B. Okay, Raleigh's theorem states that if fx is any real valued function defined on a closed interval AB in such a manner that fx is continuous in a closed interval AB, it is differentiable in open interval AB, and FA and FB, if they are equals to each other, then there exists a value C belongs to open interval A comma B such that f dash C is equals to 0. At least one value we will get in the open interval A comma B such that f dash C is equals to 0. Okay, so this is the statement of Raleigh's theorem. Now we will understand the geometrical interpretation of Raleigh's theorem. Now see, what is the geometrical interpretation of this theorem? Now let us consider a curve y is equals to fx. Okay, now if we plot this curve y is equals to fx, this is our x is equals to a, this is x is equals to b, this is y is equals to fx, which is defined in a closed interval x is equals to a and x is equals to b. As this is a and this curve is y is equals to fx, so this will be equals to what? If this is capital A and this is capital B, this is P and this is Q, then this AP will be equals to what? F of A, and this will be what? F of B. Okay, F of A and F of B, they are equals to each other. Now this is y axis, this is x axis. Now we are going to understand the geometry of Raleigh's theorem. This curve y is equals to fx is defined in a closed interval a to b. This is a continuous curve in a closed interval a comma b, and at the same time it is differentiable in the open interval a comma b. Okay, in such a manner that f of a and f of b, they are equals to each other. Okay, then this theorem states that if these three conditions holds, then there exists at least one value c. Okay, such that f dash c is equals to 0. Now what is this f dash c? F dash c is the slope of the tangent upon the curve y is equals to fx at some of the point c. Okay, and if this f dash c is equals to 0, what does it mean? That slope of a tangent is equals to what? 0. Okay, it means that tangent is parallel to x axis. As we know that slope of a this x axis, that is what? 0. Okay, and f dash c is equals to 0, it means that slope of tangent is also equals to 0. As the slope of tangent and slope of x axis, they are equals to each other, then what can we conclude from this? that tangent at some of the point C upon the curve y is equals to fx is parallel to what? X axis. So at least one tangent at the point C will get, which is parallel to x axis. Okay, it can be more than one also, but at least one is necessary. Okay, if these three conditions hold, then at least one tangent we will be getting, okay, at the point C, which is parallel to x axis. This point can be more than that also, that is more than one also. So this was the geometrical interpretation of Raleigh's theorem. Okay, now we'll understand this with the help of one numerical. Now see what type of numericals are asked in your CBSE exam. Some functions might be given there, that y is equals to fx is defined on this interval. Now verify Raleigh's theorem. Okay, so how will we verify? Let us understand in a better way with the help of one numerical. Now see the question. Now let us see this question. See, these type of questions are generally asked in your CBSE exam. That verify Raleigh's theorem for the function fx is equals to this, defined in the closed interval 2, 3. As we have discussed in the definition itself, it was given that fx, okay, defined on some of the interval, closed interval, okay, holds Raleigh's theorem if the given function is continuous in the closed interval a comma b, if it is differentiable in open interval a comma b, fa is equals to fb. If these three conditions holds, then there exists a value c, at least one value c, okay, in the open interval a comma b, such that f dash c is equals to 0. Okay, now here this is fx. Now how we write in the exam? Suppose that if this type of question comes, okay, then how we present in our answer sheet. Okay, see, this is a polynomial function. The when I was explaining you the topic, this continuity and differentiability, there I have explained you that all the polynomial functions are continuous. So no need to prove it that the function is continuous. How we express it? That fx being a polynomial function is throughout continuous, hence it is continuous in closed interval 2, 3. This is the polynomial function, and we know that the polynomial function is throughout continuous. So as this is throughout continuous, hence it will be continuous in the closed interval 2, 3 also. Now second one, f dash x. Now just differentiate this. F dash x is equals to what? 2x minus 5, which clearly exists, in open interval 2, 3. That is, if we take any point within this interval 2, 3, we will get the finite value of f dash x. Okay, as f dash x is finite in the open interval 2, 3, hence we can say that this f dash x clearly exists in the open interval 2, 3. Okay, the first part, fx would be continuous in the closed interval a comma b, and what we are seeing here, that this is a continuous function in closed interval 2, 3. At the same time, this fx would be differentiable in the open interval a comma b. What we are seeing here, that this f dash x, it clearly exists in the open interval 2, 3, hence it is continuous in the open interval 2, 3. Now the third point which we have discussed, that fa and fb, they should be equals to each other. Okay, now determine the value of fa. This is our a. What is a? 2, and what is b? 3. So f2, the value of f2, this is fx. Okay, so from here we will get the value of f2. So f2 will be equals to what? 2 square 4, and this 6 plus 4 10, and if we replace this x by 2, minus 5 into 2 will be equals to what? Minus 10. So 10 minus 10 0. Now let us determine the value of f of 3. Now f of 3, if we replace this x by 3, this 3 square will be equals to what? 9. Okay, 9 plus 6, 15, minus 5 into 3, minus 15. So plus 15 and minus 15, that is equals to what? 0. So what we are seeing here, that f of 3, that is equals to 0. So f of a and f of b, they are equals to each other. So the three condition holds for this function in the given interval. So now we will determine the value c in such a manner that f dash c is equals 0, and then we'll see that the obtained value of c, whether it is a member of the open interval a comma b or not. Okay, now see, f dash c is equals 0. See, this is our f dash c, so f dash x. So f dash c will be equals to what? 2c minus 5. So 2c minus 5 is equals to 0. So c is equals to what? 2.5. Now this 2.5 belongs to open interval 2 comma 3. Okay, so hence Raleigh's theorem is verified. That is, the given function defined on the closed interval 2 comma 3, it holds the Raleigh's theorem. Okay, so this is all about this question. Okay, now let us discuss Lagrange's mean value theorem, and then we'll discuss the numericals of NCERT. Okay, and then we'll see some more questions. Okay, so now let us see Lagrange's mean value theorem. Now the next theorem is Lagrange's mean value theorem. Now see, according to Lagrange's mean value theorem, if fx is any real valued function, let fx be a real valued function defined on a closed interval AB such that first fx is continuous on closed interval a comma b, similar to that of Raleigh's theorem. Second, fx is differentiable on open interval a comma b. These two conditions were same in the Raleigh's theorem also. There the third condition was that fa and fb, they were equals to each other. Okay, here no such condition is there. That is, here f and fb, they are not equals to each other. Fx should be continuous in the closed interval ab, it should be differentiable in the open interval ab, then there exists at least one value c belongs to open interval a comma b such that f dash c is equals to f of b minus f of a upon b minus a. Okay, in the case of Raleigh's theorem, the value of f dash c, that was equals to what? 0. Here f dash c is equals to what? F of b minus f of a upon b minus a. Okay, so again I am repeating this theorem, that according to Lagrange's mean value theorem, if any of the function fx is defined in a closed interval a comma b such that fx is continuous in the closed interval ab, it is differentiable in the open interval ab, then there exists at least one value c which belongs to the open interval a comma b such that the value of f dash c is equals to f of b minus f of a upon b minus a. Now let us discuss the geometrical interpretation of LMV theorem, that is Lagrange's mean value theorem. Now see, what is the geometry of LMV, Lagrange's mean value theorem? Geometrical interpretation of Lagrange's mean value theorem. Now, this is x, y, x dash, y dash, origin. Okay. Now see. Let us consider two figures. This is x is equals to a, this is x is equals to b, this is f of a, this is f of b. In the case of Rolle's theorem, we have seen that f of a and f of b, they were equals to each other. But it does not happen in the case of this Lagrange's mean value theorem. Okay. Similarly, this is what x of x is equals to a, this is x is equals to b, this is f of a and this is what f of b. Okay. Now, this function y is equals to fx is a real valued function which is defined in the closed interval a comma b such that it is a continuous function in the closed interval a comma b. At the same time, it is differentiable in open interval a comma b. Now then, there exists at least one value c, okay, such that at that particular c, here this the slope of the tangent will be equals to slope of the chord, okay, joining the end point of a comma fa and b comma fb, as we have discussed that f dash c is equals to what? Fb minus fa upon b minus a. So fb minus fa means what? See, if we name this chord as AB, okay, FB minus FA, that is y2 minus y1, difference in y coordinate, by B minus A, that is difference in x coordinate. And we, from coordinate geometry, we know that difference in y coordinate upon difference in x coordinate, that is equals to what? That is the slope of a line. So slope of AB, okay, FB minus FA by B minus A, and f dash c is the slope of tangent upon the curve y is equals to fx at the point c. Okay, so here f dash c is equals to fb minus fa upon b minus a. So geometrically, this Lagrange's mean value theorem interprets that slope of the tangent at some of the point c is parallel to the chord joining the end points of this x is equals to a and x is equals to b. Okay, at least one point we will be getting. It can be more than that also. If we see this figure, see, this is a tangent, this is a point c1 parallel to this chord, this is a point c2 parallel to again this chord, this is point c3 parallel to this chord. So at least one point we will be getting, okay, on the curve, where if the tangent is being drawn, then the slope of that particular tangent will be parallel to this chord. Okay, it can be more than that also. Okay, you can see both the figures. So this is the geometry of Lagrange's mean value theorem. Now let us discuss the numerical based on LMB. Then we'll start with the questions of NCERT. Okay, now see the question, that what type of questions are asked in your CBSE exam. Now, here verify Lagrange's mean value theorem for the function fx is equals to x minus 2 sine x. Fx is equals to x minus 2 sine x. Okay, where x belongs to closed interval minus pi to plus pi. This is the given function defined on closed interval minus pi to plus pi. Now the question comes that verify LMV, Lagrange's mean value theorem, for the function defined on closed interval minus pi to plus pi. Okay, now as we have discussed just now, that according to Lagrange's mean value theorem, if fx is any real valued function defined on closed interval a comma b, okay, such that fx is continuous on closed interval a comma b. So the first point, fx. Now see, this is a polynomial function. If we assume this as gx and this as hx, this is a trigonometric function. Okay, so gx being a polynomial function is throughout continuous, and hx being a trigonometric function, okay, sine function, again this is throughout continuous. Okay, so the difference of two continuous function is continuous. So here fx being the difference of two continuous functions, that is polynomial function and sine function, is throughout continuous, hence it is continuous in closed interval minus pi to plus pi. Okay, the first part. Now the second part, now let us determine f dash x. Here f dash x, differentiation of x will be equals to what? 1 minus differentiation of sin x cos x, 1 minus 2 cos x. Okay, now which clearly exists in the open interval minus pi to plus pi. That is, if we substitute any value which is a member of open interval minus pi to plus pi, okay, we get the finite value of this. Okay, so f dash x is equal to this, which clearly exists in open interval minus pi to plus pi. Okay, hence it is differentiable in open interval minus pi to plus pi. Okay, so the first part, that is the condition of continuity in the closed interval, okay, it is being satisfied by the given function. The second part, condition of differentiability in the open interval, that is also being satisfied by this function. Okay, now next, there must exist at least one value c, okay, in the open interval a comma b, such that f dash c, that should be equals to what? fb minus fa upon b minus a. Okay, now let us determine that. Now f dash c is equals to f of b minus f of a upon b minus a. Now f dash c, this is our f dash x. Okay, so f dash c will be equals to what? 1 minus 2 cos c, 1 minus 2 cos c, this is equals to f of b. Now this is fx. Okay, so f of b, you replace x by pi, so this pi minus 2 sin pi, f of b minus f of a, that is again you have to replace x by what? Minus pi. Okay, so this minus pi minus 2 sin, if we replace this x by minus pi, sin minus theta is equals to what? Minus sin theta, so this will be plus 2 sin pi. Okay, f of b minus f of a whole divided by b minus a, that is pi minus of minus pi will what? That will be equals to what? Plus pi. Now let us simplify this and we'll see that the obtained value of c, whether it belongs to the open interval a comma b or not. If it belongs, then the Lagrange's mean value theorem is verified. Okay, now let us simplify this. 1 minus 2 cos c, this is equals to, now see here, what is the value of sin pi? 0. Okay, now we'll get here pi, this part becomes 0, sin pi is 0, so again this part becomes 0, minus of minus pi will be equals to what? Plus pi. Okay, and here again pi plus pi, that is 2 pi, so 2 pi divided by 2 pi, these two will be cancelled, this is left with what? 1. Okay, or this implies that this 2 cos c is equals to 0. This 1 and 1 will be cancelled, so finally 2 cos c will be equals to what? 0. Or cos c is equals to or cos c is equals to 0, this implies that c is equals to what? C is equals to pi by 2, isn't it? We know that the value of cos 90 degrees is equals to what? 0. So we have obtained the value of c as pi by 2. Now see that whether the obtained value of c, it belongs to the open interval minus pi 2 plus pi or not. So obviously pi by 2 belongs to open interval minus pi 2 plus pi. Hence Lagrange's mean value theorem is verified. Okay, so this is how we approach the numericals based on Lagrange's mean value theorem and Raleigh's theorem. Okay, now let us discuss the numericals of NCERT. Now see the first question of NCERT. This is question number 1. Now verify Raleigh's theorem for the function fx is equals to x square plus 2x minus 8. So again, as we have discussed that this is a polynomial function. So polynomial function is throughout continuous. Hence this is a continuous function. It is also continuous in the closed interval minus 4 comma 2. So how we write that? That fx being a polynomial function is throughout continuous. Hence it is continuous in closed interval minus 4 comma 2. Second, f dash x is equals to 2x plus 2, which clearly exists in open interval minus 4 comma 2. Okay, now third one, f of a, that is f of minus 4. If we substitute minus 4 here, the square of minus 4 will be equals to what? Plus 16. Minus 4 into 2, minus 8 minus 16. So 16 minus 16, 0. So f of minus 4, 0. Now f of 2, 2 into 2, 4, and 4, 8 minus 8, 0. So here f of a is equals to what? F of b. Okay. So the given function is continuous in the closed interval a comma b. At the same time, it is differentiable in the open interval a comma b. And f of a and f of b, they are equals to each other. Okay. So there must exist a value c which belongs to open interval a comma b such that f dash c is equals to what? 0. Okay. Now let us determine the value of c. Now f dash c, as this is f dash x, so f dash c will be equals to what? 2c plus 2. Okay. Now f dash c is equals to 0, so 2c plus 2 is equals to 0, or this implies that c is equals to what? Minus 1. Now just check it, the obtained value of c, whether it lies in the open interval minus 4 comma 2 or not. It is a member of open interval minus 4 comma 2. Hence Raleigh's theorem is verified. Okay. Here therefore c belongs to open interval minus 4 comma 2. Therefore the given function holds the Raleigh's theorem, or Raleigh's theorem is verified. So this was all about question 1. Now let us see question number 2. Yes, sir. Now see the next question, that is question number 2 of exercise 5.8 NCERT. Here examine Raleigh's theorem for the following function, that is whether all these functions, okay, it holds Raleigh's theorem or not, that we have to verify. Okay, now see, this is the integral function, isn't it? And we know that integral function is a discontinuous function. In the very first condition we have discussed that in order to hold Raleigh's theorem, any of the functions must be continuous in the closed interval, differentiable in the open interval, fa is equals to fb. Then we go for the value of c in such a manner that f dash c is equals to what? 0. So in the very first step, okay, what we are observing here, that the given function being integral function is a discontinuous function. Okay, this function is not continuous. As the function is discontinuous, that is, the very first condition is not being satisfied. So no need to check the second condition and third condition. Okay, and already the function is discontinuous, it will not be differentiable. Okay, as we know that every differentiable function is continuous, but every continuous function is not differentiable. Okay, so this function is a discontinuous function, so no need to further check it. In the very first step, what we'll do, that we'll write that since fx is an integral function and we know that integral function is a discontinuous function, hence the given function does not hold Raleigh's theorem. Okay, the first part. Now the second part. Again, second part also, here also we can see that this is what? This is the integral function. Okay, so again this is discontinuous function. So again this function does not hold the Raleigh's theorem. Now third one, this is a polynomial function and we know that polynomial function is a continuous function. It is throughout continuous. Hence this function is continuous in the closed interval 1, 2. The first part is being satisfied. Now second part, if we determine the value of f dash x, we will get 2x. Okay, this 2x clearly exists in the open interval 1, 2. Okay, so again the function is differentiable in the open interval this 1, 2. So the first part, that the function is continuous, okay, in the closed interval a comma b, it is being satisfied. The second part, it should be differentiable, here it is, okay, in the open interval 1, 2. And the third, in the case of Raleigh's theorem, we go for the value of fa and fb and then we compare those two values, that whether they are equals to each other or not. So now let us determine f of a, that is f of 1. Now see, this is fx, f of 1 will be equals to what? 1 square means 1, 1 minus 1, 0. Okay, and f of 2, that is fb. If we replace this x by 2, 2 square will be equals to what? 4, and 4 minus 1 will be equals to what? 3. So now in the third condition, okay, the third condition, what we are observing, that it is not being satisfied. According to Raleigh's theorem, f of a and f of b, these two should be equals to each other. But what we are seeing here, that f of a is 0 and f of b is 3. They are not equals to each other. So again, the Raleigh's theorem does not hold for the function fx is equals to x square minus 1 in the closed interval 1, 2. Okay, so this is all about question 2, that is all these three functions, it does not hold the Raleigh's theorem. Okay, and see, one part is given there here, that examine if Raleigh's theorem is applicable to any one of the following functions, these three functions. Okay, so it is not applicable to any of the functions. Can you say something about the converse of Raleigh's theorem from these examples? Okay, what can we say about the converse of Raleigh's theorem? That converse does not holds. Okay, Raleigh's theorem, if see, as you all are familiar with the this Raleigh's theorem, that what is the or you all are familiar with the main theorem. For example, suppose that this basic proportionality theorem. Okay, you know that what is basic proportionality theorem and what is the converse of basic proportionality theorem. Okay, so what is basic proportionality theorem? That in any of the triangle, if a line is drawn parallel, okay, to any of the side, then it divides the remaining two sides proportionally. This is the main theorem. And what is the converse of it? That in any of the triangle, if a line drawn, okay, in such a manner, in any of the triangle, if a line is being drawn, okay, in such a manner that it divides the two sides proportionally, then it is parallel to the third side. So main theorem and the converse. So you are familiar with the this converse of any of the theorem. Okay, so here converse of Raleigh's theorem does not hold. Okay, so in objective question, if it comes, okay, for 1 marks, these days it is very important, as 20 questions in CBSE, okay, they are 1 marks questions. So each and every part is important. Suppose that in fill in the blanks, okay, if it comes that converse of Raleigh's theorem holds, okay, or it does not hold. Okay, so means be very clear in this, that converse of Raleigh's theorem does not hold. Okay, so this is all about question number 2. Now let us see question number 3. Now see question number 3. If f is such that closed interval -5 to plus 5 to set of real number. Okay, this is how the function is defined. Is a differentiable function. Is a differentiable function if f dash x does not vanish anywhere. See, it does not vanish anywhere. Then prove that f of minus 5 is not equals to, it is given equals to, f of minus 5 is not equals to f of 5. Okay, that's what we have to prove. Now, see the proof part. As in the previous question also I have told you that every differentiable function is continuous. Okay, but this every continuous function is not differentiable. Okay, just now we are discussing when I was explaining you continuity and differentiability, I have also given you the proof of this result that every differentiable function is continuous but the converse is not true. Okay, what is given here, that if f is such that close interval minus 5 to plus 5 to set of real number is a differentiable function, as it is mentioned here that it is a differentiable function, hence it is definitely continuous also. Okay, so the given function is continuous, that is known to us, it is differentiable, that is also known to us. Okay, now let us assume that let f of a is equals to f of b. F of a is equals to f of b means what? F of 5 is equals to f of minus 5. If f of 5 and f of minus 5, if they are equals to each other, then there exists a value c belongs to open interval minus 5 to plus 5 such that f dash c is equals to 0. Okay, if f of a is equals to f of b, then definitely we will be getting one value c which belongs to the open interval minus 5 to plus 5 in such a manner that f dash c is equals to what? 0. But in the question it is given that f dash x does not vanish anywhere, that is nowhere the value of f dash c is equals to 0. It means that our assumption f of 5 is equals to f of minus 5 is wrong. Okay, that is f of 5 and f of minus 5, they cannot be equals to each other. If they are equals to each other, then f dash c must be equals to 0. Okay, but in the question itself it is mentioned that f dash c is not equals to 0. Okay, so this f of 5 is not equals to f of minus 5. That's what we have to prove, and here we get the result. Okay, now let us see the next question, question number 4. Yes, now see question number 4 and 5. Verify mean value theorem if fx is equals to, this is our fx, okay, which is defined in the closed interval a comma b, where a is equals to 1 and b is equals to 4. So here fx is equals to x cube minus 4x minus 3, where x belongs to closed interval 1 to 4. Now you can see that fx is a polynomial function. So fx being a polynomial function is throughout continuous. Hence it is continuous in the closed interval 1 comma 4 also. Okay. So the first part, okay, is verified. Now the second part, f dash x. F dash x is equals to 3x square minus 4, which clearly exists in the open interval 1 comma 4. That is, if we substitute any value which is the member of this open interval 1 comma 4 in this, we'll get the finite value. So fx is a continuous function in the closed interval 1 comma 4. It is differentiable in the open interval 1 comma 4. Okay, and for LMB we do not check the value of fa and fb. Straight away we determine the value of this c such that f dash c is equals to what? fb minus fa upon b minus a. Okay, so f dash c is equals to f of b minus f of a upon b minus a. So this is our f dash x. So f dash c will be equals to what? 3c square minus 4. Now f of b, here this is our fx. So replace this x by what? 4 fb. B is what? 4. So if we substitute 4 here, what value will come? Here 4 cube 64. 64. Okay, minus 16 and then minus 3. Okay, this is FB minus f of A. Now f of A is what? 1. Okay, so this 1 and minus 4. Okay, this is equals to what? Minus 3 and then again minus 3. So this is what? Minus 6 whole divided by B minus A. So 4 minus 1 will be equals to what? 3. Okay, now let us simplify this. Here 3c square minus 4 is equals to, here this, if we simplify this, we'll get here minus 16 and minus 3. This is equals to what? Minus 19. Minus 19 and minus 6. This is equals to what? Minus 25. 64 minus 25 upon 3. Now if we simplify this, we'll get this is 9, 14 minus 5, 9, and this 5 minus 2, 3. 39 by 3. So after simplification 13 is coming, or 3c square is equals to what? This 13 plus 4, 17. Okay, so 3c square is equals to this 3c square is equals to 17, or c is equals to, this is plus minus root over 17 by 3. Okay, now root over 17 by 3, its value will be equals to what? If we divide this, okay, 3 into this 5 point something. If we determine the root of 5 point something, it will be 2 point something, and 2 point something belongs to, okay, if we take the positive value, we know that as far as the condition of Lagrange's mean value theorem, at least one value of c, okay, should lie in the open interval a comma b such that f dash c is equals to what? Fb minus fa by b minus a. So 2 point something, okay, plus 2 point something and minus 2 point something is coming here. Okay, so what was the interval? 1 comma 4. So plus 2 point something lies within the interval 1 comma 4. Hence this in question number 4 we have verified, okay, that the given function, it holds the Lagrange's mean value theorem. Okay, so this is all about question 4. Now similarly let us determine this the second question, question number 5. Okay, now see here, fx is equals to x cube minus 5x square minus 3x, where x belongs to closed interval 1 to 3. Okay, again this is a polynomial function, and we know that polynomial function is throughout continuous, hence it is continuous in closed interval 1 comma 3 also. If we determine the value of f dash x, 3x square minus 10x minus 3. Okay, see I am explaining this, and in the very first question only I have explained you that how we present in our answer sheet. Okay, so you write in that manner only. Just I am giving you the explanation that how we will solve this type of numerical. Okay, so I am not writing, I am not going in detail. Okay, so the first part, it is continuous. How it is continuous, that part is clear. Second part, we have determined the value of f dash x. Okay, and f dash x clearly exists in the open interval 1 comma 3. That is, if we substitute any value of this interval in this f dash x, we will get the finite value. Okay, so the first part, the condition of continuity in the closed interval, it is being satisfied. The second part, the condition of differentiability in the open interval, that is also being satisfied. Now next, we determine the value of c such that f dash c is equals to f of b minus f of a upon b minus a. Okay, so f dash c, that is 3c square minus 10c minus 3 is equals to f of b. Okay, now wherever x is there, you replace x by 3. So if x is being replaced by 3, this 3 cube will be equals to what? 27, and this is equals to what? 9. So 27 and minus 9 will get what? 18. And here 3 square is equals to what? 9, and 9 into 5, 45. So we are getting here 18 minus 45. This is the value of what? F of B. Now f of A minus f of A. Now replace this x by 1. If it is being replaced by 1, we'll get here minus 5 and minus 3. So minus 5 and minus 3 will be equals to what? Minus 8. Minus 8 and plus 1, that is what? Minus 7. This is what? Minus 7. Okay. Whole divided by B minus A. So 3 minus 1 will be equals to what? 2. Now let us simplify this. 3c square minus 10c minus 3. This is equals to. Now see here minus and minus plus. So plus 7. So 18 plus 7 will be equals to what? 25 minus 45 upon 2. Okay. Now this minus 45 and plus 25, that is equals to what? Minus 20, and minus 20 by 2 will be equals to what? Minus 10. Okay. So what value is coming after simplification? We are getting here 3c square minus 10c. Okay. And that is what? Minus 10. If we change the side, it becomes what? Plus 10. So 10 minus 3 will be equals to what? 7. So plus 7 is equals to 0. Okay. Now see whether we'll able to factorize this or not. Okay. This minus 7 and minus 3. 3c square minus 7c and minus this 3c plus 7 is equals to 0. If we take c common from here, we'll get 3c minus 7. If we get if we take minus 1 common, again we'll get 3c minus 7 is equals to 0, or 3c minus 7 into c minus 1 is equals to 0, or the value of c is equals to what? Either 1 or 7 by 3. Okay. Now these are the values of c, 1 or 7 by 3. Now what was the interval? 1 comma 3. Now we know that as per as the Lagrange's mean value theorem, at least one value, okay, of c must lie within the open interval 1 comma 3. So 7 by 3 we are getting 2 point something, okay, which clearly lies within the open interval 1 comma 3. So we are getting one value which is the member of this open interval 1 comma 3. Hence the given function defined on the given interval, it holds Lagrange's mean value theorem. Okay. Now let us move to the next part. Find all c belongs to open interval 1 comma 3 for which f dash c is equals to 0. Okay. Now f dash c is equals to 0. Now see here. Here f dash c, f dash x is equals to, as this is our fx, so this f dash x is equals to what? 3x square minus 10x. Okay. And minus 3. Now f dash c is equals to 0, that is 3c square minus 10c minus 3 is equals to 0. Okay. Now this is the simple quadratic equation. No, 3c square minus 10c minus 3 is equals to 0. So I think that you can simplify and get the value of c. Okay. So one thing you do, that you simplify it, get the value of c, and just you have to see that whatever value of c you have obtained, okay, is that value lies in the open interval 1 comma 3 or not. Okay. If the value of c lies in the open interval 1 comma 3, then we say that that is the value of c, okay, corresponding to which f dash c is equals to 0. But at the same time, if the value of c which is coming to existence, if it does not lies in this open interval 1 comma 3, then we say that for no value of c in the open interval 1 comma 3, the f dash c is equals to 0. I hope that this part is clear to you all. Okay. So this was question number 5. Again in question number 6, what is given there in question number 6, that we have to verify the question number 2. Okay. In the question number 2, 3 functions were given there. 2 of them were this integral function. Okay. And the third one was the polynomial function. Okay. And there in question number 2, we were supposed to verify Raleigh's theorem. In question number 6, which is the last question of this exercise 5.8, it is being given that verify Lagrange's mean value theorem for the same question number 2. So LMV will not be hold for the first function. The first function was you can go through the book, okay, or you can repeat the video. There you will find that in question number 2, the first part is greatest integer function, second part is the greatest integer function, third part is the polynomial function. So the first part being greatest integer function, it is a discontinuous function. So again, it will not hold the Rolle's theorem as well as Lagrange's mean value theorem. The second function was again a greatest integer function. So again, it will not hold the Rolle's theorem as well as Lagrange's mean value theorem. And the third function was the polynomial function. Okay, it was continuous, it was differentiable, but fa and fb was not equals to each other. In the case of Lagrange's mean value theorem, there is no such case of fa and fb. Okay, so we have to see just the third function. Wait, I am verifying that part. Now the question was, let me see the book. The third function was fx is equals to, this is question number 6, fx is equals to x square minus 1, okay, where the interval was 1 to 2. So as I have discussed now that this is a polynomial function, so this is continuous, so it is continuous in the closed interval. F dash x is equals to 2x, okay, which clearly exists in the open interval 1 comma 2, okay. So it is differentiable also. For LMD, we do not see the value of fa and fb. Straight away, we just equate f dash c from fb minus fa upon b minus a. And after simplifying this, whatever value of c is coming, we just see that whether it belongs to the open interval a comma b or not. If it, okay, then we say that the function holds the Lagrange's mean value theorem. Okay. Now f dash c, this is our f dash x, so f dash c will be equals to what? 2c. Now f of b, this is our fx. You replace this x by 2, so 2 square will be equals to what? 4. So 4 minus 1 will be equals to what? 3. F of b minus f of a. Now again you replace this x by 1. So 1 minus 1 will be equals to what? 0. Fb minus fa upon b minus a, that is 2 minus 1. Okay, or this 2c is equals to 3 by, only 3, or c is equals to what? 1.5. Okay, so the value of c which we have calculated, it belongs to the open interval. Here c belongs to open interval 1 comma 2. So the given function fx is equals to x square minus 1, it holds Lagrange's mean value theorem. Okay, so this was the last question of this exercise. So here we complete this exercise. In the next video, I will share some important questions related to this topic, and then we'll discuss the miscellaneous exercise of NCERT, okay, of this chapter, continuity and differentiability. In the meantime, you all go through all this content and try to grasp it. Grasp it properly. And if you have any doubt, okay, you can. Earlier also I have shared this my email ID, and this number is also known to you all. You can just ask your doubts there. Thank you.